Hey, what's going on, guys? Josh here for Classic Elite. You probably know me better as the Gooch. And this is the video review for Galaga Legions DX. It was recently released on the PlayStation 3, and that is the version that we're showing today. Now, before we create interstellar chaos, I gotta let everybody know that all of the beautiful HD footage from this review was recorded using the Hapag Colossus HD capture card. Galaga Legions DX is the second game in the Namco Generation series, which includes the critically acclaimed Pac-Man Championship Edition DX. Now, unlike Pac-Man, Galaga Legions DX plays very differently than the original arcade game. It uses all new game mechanics, several that seem to have become staples of this new DX formula, and despite being so different than the original arcade game, it still holds on to some of the same spirit that made the classic arcade game so popular. Similar to the original game, you're playing a twin-stick shooter. Waves of enemies rush onto the screen constantly, and it's up to your lone ship to blast them all into pixelated dust. So far, the classic formula sounds untouched, but as you can see by the video, this is not your grandfather's Galaga. Your ship is now able to freely move all over the screen, and you can shoot in any direction, blasting through peons until you destroy the bigger ships or shoot bombs that set off chain reactions of explosions. It's like interstellar explosive space dominoes, watching a string of enemies go up in flames. It's super satisfying, almost like a puzzle game. I mean, look at the trippy laser show. It occurs just before each enemy wave. It gives the player an idea of where to position and how the enemy ships will move onto the screen. Although, simply avoiding enemies and returning fire isn't enough. You must watch the background and learn the enemy patterns, clearing each wave quickly and efficiently as humanly possible. This will allow you to spend more time in the final wave, where it's unlimited and the points are doubled. This is absolutely the key to getting the highest scores, but like the cliche goes, it's easier said than done. Occasionally, you get to take control of several enemy ships that will fight and move alongside you. It's like having a power-up that increases the amount and rate of your fire exponentially. The only downside is they might as well be made of glass. They blow up instantly as soon as they come in contact with an enemy ship. One other nifty mechanic they pulled straight from Pac-Man Championship Edition DX is that when you're about to hit an enemy, the game gets this bullet time effect. It slows down significantly, giving the player a chance to avoid a deathly collision. It's a nice touch, but the game isn't truly difficult. I mean, each of the 10 areas in the game only take a few minutes to complete, although the game's length and difficulty solely depend on how driven you are to earn high scores, because you will need to play over and over again, practicing and perfecting your game to absolutely reach the top of the leaderboards. Visually, the game is simple, and at the same time it is super intense. Now, that statement makes very little sense, but look at it. Look at the video. You know exactly what I'm trying to say. The backgrounds with the trippy lines being drawn every few seconds, the non-stop explosions, the game screams, "Look at me!" And it also screams, "I'll probably give you a seizure." Similar to most revamps these days, there are multiple skins that can be selected, giving the player a lot of visual variety. You can go with retro styles and modern styles. What sucks though is I would like to be able to switch it in mid-game. You can't do that. It's a minor gripe, but honestly, I mostly use the overly blocky retro style. It makes spotting the big enemies and the bombs a whole lot easier. You can take that as a free Gooch pro tip. Plus, you know, nothing beats exploding pixels. Also, the music is good. It's not great. You're not going to hum it on your morning commute, but it gets the job done. The game is definitely a step up from its predecessor in all the right ways, but it's nowhere nearly as refined as Pac-Man Championship Edition DX. And while Galaga Legions DX isn't as revolutionary as I would have hoped, it's still a great game. Galaga Legions DX can be purchased now on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 for a mere $10, and it's definitely a solid purchase for any dual-stick shooter fan or a fan of the classic score chasers from arcades past.